Roger Crawford, and he is a cranker. And there's an example of it. And hello, darling. Roger starts off with a big X.
And you know, he can go back a winner, but he's got to go back May the 8th to Okinawa. What a revolting development.
He's on leave right now. But here's his competition, Perry Burgess, and he is not intimidated by that Marine at all. Perry's a plus 37, and Roger is a 0. He's a scratch bowler. He's averaged 212 this year.
Which means he's got to give him 37 sticks.
And that could be trouble. And Perry almost had a little luck on his way.
You know, you say if you keep the pins long enough on the pin deck, anything can happen. He had 5 of them down there.
Perry's 20 years old. He's from Bellevue, Kentucky. And for the conversion.
And he rolls that ball right from the foul line. He gets a lot of roll on it.
So here's Roger Crawford, the Mad Cranker. I'll give a nickname this week.
Mad Cranker, huh?
And let's see what happens. Hello! Number 2. You know, Roger does have a 300 game to his credit. One of them, that was in October 13th, 1982. He's only been bowling for 5 years, and he's 18 years of age, and he holds a 212 average.
I'm sure he's a product of the juniors over here.
Good numbers. Let's see. The Mad Cranker. And there's 3 in a row.
If you notice that little body English up there, he ran all along his foul line there. And he knows when his ball comes in a little light, he's going to rip that 5 out of there.
You know, Roger, you could tell he's been interested in this tournament because he's been here all 3 weeks of taping. And here's week 4 and he's on the show. Here's Perry Burgess. 4 and 9.
And that one there is just a difference in the revolutions on the ball. Roger's using that urethane ball and picking up a lot of early revs on it and just destroying those pins.
Talk about inexperience. Perry, this is his first year bowling. So this young man has a lot to learn. And he's doing a super job holding a 153 average. And he's had a 602 series. Not bad for a first year bowler.
Not too shabby.
And I could guess why he's a bowler, Eddie. He's employed at the SuperBowl.
Isn't everybody? And he rolls that ball real nice.
And there's a strike ball. So Roger Crawford started out with 3 in a row, but he's given 37 pins up. And that could create some trouble for this young Marine.
And just a little late. Little lighter, he'd have threw him through the wall. You know, they got the UAW tournament starting here today, and it will continue not only today, but the 17th, the 23rd, and the 24th. United Auto Workers. And you know, I was over here when they had the SuperBowl Pro Tournament. You know, this is the home of the Regional Invitational. Making that announcement, I was thinking to myself, you know, with the crank that he has on that strike ball, I wondered if he had had time to practice shooting spares, because the young kids today are so strike conscious that they let the spare game fall by the wayside, and he's going to have to learn, like another gentleman we had on the show, to kill the ball going cross lane.
Well, after that open, let's see if he can come back. And yes, sir, Roger Crawford with a strike. So we're halfway through match 1, and Perry Burgess will be up when we return right after this. Our 20-year-old Bellevue native, married Perry Burgess steps up to the line and for a 6 count.
Well, Nick, you know, he's going to have to make an adjustment to move just a little bit on that lane to the right. And I'm sure if he makes that adjustment, he'll come a little solid in the pocket. He's got a good roll on the ball. Cross lane, he's going to have to carry all of them with the ball.
And, oh, he chopped it, Eddie. He chopped it. So that gives Roger a chance to get back into this match. Roger currently is down 28 pins. And here's Perry Burgess trying to rebound. And there's a rebound, but no, he leaves a 10 pin.
And a 6 laying right there in the gutter, which means the ball didn't get the full pack into this pocket. It just lacked a roll. That's what we call a half hit. And if it hits halfway, it just doesn't do its duty.
You know, the good thing about bowling is it's unlike golf. There are no lakes around. Because I guarantee you, if there were lakes around the bowling area, there'd be a lot of bowling balls in it.
But we always say it's a good count, you're out of trouble, and it's a clean frame. You know, here at SuperBowl they have a daybreak special. You can bowl Monday through Thursday from noon until 5 p.m. with 3 games only costing $1.99.
And there's the mad cranker back in action. Roger Crawford, our 18-year-old Marine from Erlanger. He's got a strike in the first, the second, the third. He opened, strike. So if he could have carried a 10 pin in the 4th frame, that would have been 6 in a row. He would have been halfway home.
You notice he's getting a good firm grip on the ball all the way underneath the bowling ball. Good knee bend.
Oh boy, this young man loves the game. There's no doubt about it.
He's wired in on the 1-3, that's for sure. Perry's right underneath the ball with him, but he just doesn't get all the way around it and hit it with the full finger. And that is what you would call a solid 10, because that 6 just flew right straight up over the neck of that pin.
Perry still +7. He had started out with a 37 pin handicap, but Roger has really cut that down. Hang on. Beautiful shot for the 10 pin.
Everybody worried but the shooter. I notice that everybody is just about starting their approach with the left foot somewhere near the center dot, which is the 20th board.
And there's a Brooklyn. So that really puts the pressure on Roger Crawford.
He went to the other side. He took care of the 10 for true. Roger is a typical of the young up-and-coming stars, is get underneath the ball and sling it to the right.
And there it is again. This young man has 7 strikes out of 8 frames, and it could easily be 8 for 8.
Could have them all, that's for true.
Roger likes photography, and he likes to take pictures of, I guess, bowling balls and bowling pins. But he's not going to.
Here it comes.
No pictures there. They're all gone. Oh boy. Roger's now moved into the lead, +14. So Perry, already he's kind of jumped up there a little quick, Eddie. Let's see what happens here.
Well, there's no defense, and as long as that Roger keeps stringing him, you just might as well just do your thing and get out of the way.
Burgess for the conversion. Perry bowls at the Monday morning blob league here at the Super Bowl lanes. That's
the blob league.
That's what it says. Blobs. It's a league I'll never see.
Get up there a little bit quick and got the ball to the right. I tell you, this young man for bowling just a short time. He's a fine player. Again, another four-step player.
For the conversion. And
hello. He had a man in motion is what they call that one. They took the 8 right out of there. You know, I like this. Thank goodness it's Friday. Every Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. over here at Super Bowl, you just practice all you want for 50 cents a game. Can you imagine that?
I can imagine that. I'll be here. I'll be able to imagine it in reality. Now here's Roger Crawford. Look, a strike. Looks like it'll lock it up. Let's see. Our 18-year-old Marine who's home on leave. Oh, man. What can you say? He's a scratch bowler, and he has a 207 in the 8th.
From the halls of Super Bowl to the halls of Montezuma
comes Roger Crawford from Erlanger.
What can you say? He just gets up there and tools it to the right and picks up a roll and program it in. It's there.
He is one ball away from what would have been a 300 game if the 9 would have kicked out.
Looks like 277.
267. And there it is. Oh, 267 from Roger Crawford. Unbelievable. 11 strikes out of 12 balls. Not too bad. So Roger Crawford will move on and face Ivan Houchins in the finals. And we'll be back with that match right after this. Weatherford, Dan Waters, and Ken Yaden all have one thing in common, is they have been our champions in our qualifying. And this is week 4. Ivan Houchins versus Roger Crawford in the finals. And Ivan will be starting on lane 7. And Ivan with a 9 count.
Ivan's got his work cut out for him.
Do you think, Eddie, that sitting watching Roger roll 11 strikes in the game previous would do anything to Ivan's game, possibly?
Not really. Ivan has to play his game. He's going to have to concentrate on what he's doing and just bowl his own game. He can't stop what Roger's doing and just try and stay and bowl within himself, as we call it. Execute his own style of bowling.
Here's Roger. The 10 pin in the 4th frame was the difference of a 267 and a 300 game for this man. Let's see. And there it is. He starts off with a strike. And the crowd really shows their appreciation for this young man.
And I was mentioned to you while we were off the air, he was creating an area for himself out there with that urethane ball, and he knows what he's doing. He's playing it out there and picking up a roll and coming into that pocket and just destroying those pins. He's young in age, but he's an astute young player.
Well, and the first time. He hasn't had much practice at spares, Eddie. And here's a tough split to 6-7.
Well, you know, Roger hasn't had a spare yet.
That's right. He has not had a spare all day. He had the 10 pin and missed it in the first frame. That was his only attempt. And let's see about it here. And he gave it a shot. He gets one.
He came up underneath that ball a little more and flattened it out.
The only handicap in this ball game is +2 to Ivan. His wife was a qualifier in the first match, and she lost to Sandy Creech in the first round. And here's Ivan trying to retaliate that. And looky here, Edward.
Got a one pin match here. He's obviously just going to go for the one stick. And I was watching Ivan practice, and he started off rolling the ball real nice, and then seemed to get a little confused and was in a little bit of a problem. If you notice, he's all the way to the right, and he'll bump into the ball return as he goes up. And there it is. And for the one pin.
You know, Ivan, his highest game was 279, and the fourth frame, or the third frame, was his downfall. He left the 4 pin, and that was the difference between his 300 and 279.
He's got a hobby. He's a private pilot, and right now he'd like to do some high flying right now. Get some of those pins to fly. He's pulled it again.
And he got a little break there, so it's going to keep him in this match, because this Crawford kid is hot. Well, Ivan, he's employed at Kmart. He's the general manager there. So I guess, Eddie, we'll have to stop in there and pick up some goodies on our way home. Tell him we know Ivan.
Well, I know one thing. I like what Ivan does, and he's a junior bowling coach, a bowling instructor here. And unfortunately, he just missed a spare. And I mentioned several shows before, I think I've missed that spare 25 out of 26 by chopping that front one, and I don't care how I tried to make it.
Here's the mad cranker, and there's his shot, Roger Crawford. Boy, what can you say about him? 18 years of age, and cranking a ball like an experienced bowler.
Well, if you notice the difference in the youth against Ivan, is Roger isn't old enough to even have any fears.
Well, he almost picked a fear up there, hitting it a little high.
You notice in practice I called attention to one shot where he sent the ball a little wide. Since he went wide with that one shot, he's had every ball on this lane high.
Notice that. And what about that? He chopped it. So both bowlers struggling here early. Then, you know, Eddie, before the telecast went on live, everyone was talking. I want to see Ivan and Roger. This is a good match. 2 scratch bowlers going at it head to head in the championship of our 4th week.
And I think you said it all right there, the championship.
Here's a doozy in itself.
You called this one time. I said you got to go down the line to 1, 2, 4, 7, and you said yes, and you can still chap it. And the bowler did do that. He went around the 1, 2, 4, 4, 7, and the 7 stood.
It's like trying to get a strike.
That's exactly right. But I'm sure that's what he'll try and do. Go down the line.
And there's the wood he needed.
I don't think that's the way he tried it, but it's a mark anyway. Now, if he can just remember where he threw that ball, he'd be home free because that was solid in the 1-3 pocket.
And again, these bowlers are kind of struggling. We have an even match, Eddie.
To the pin. I've noticed Ivan, he's getting the ball to the right of him as he comes through it and pulling it across his body. In practice, he was a little more straight back, straight through. He's going to have to start to put a little trust into the roll of the ball.
Well, as his wife did, Ivan has his wife yelling behind him, because Ivan was certainly yelling Lois some encouragement. But here's Roger, the mad cranker. Watch this. Oh boy.
I'd like to bring in that other bowler we had the other game. Looks like we got a different bowler here. He's sort of just lost it temporarily here. This is a spare that he can convert.
Tough shot. Let's see how this Marine... Oh, boy.
That is a bad break. Perfectly executed shot. And the head pin went up and around the 10.
Eddie, he still has not got a spare.
I think we said the young players today practice strikes, and if they don't strike, they re-rack the pins and throw another strike.
There's his ball. Mark it down, Roger Crawford. And I marked 11 of them down last game.
Someone said he was his coach, and I'm sure that that is probably true here at SuperBowl. Nothing like having the instructor beat the teacher.
Well, that really reflects on the instructor. Very unselfish to separate the knowledge that he's generated through the years. But the instructor right now is plus 10.
You know, the key to the success of a lot of young people is getting them involved with a sport that they can play for years and years and years, and this is one of them. So you parents out there listening, if you have a youngster, get them interested in a game of bowling, and that's exactly what it is, a game. It's a sport that you can play forever.
Glad you said that, Eddie. I was about ready to join a hockey league.
Man, we got you. We're going to start teaching you how to bowl and get your game in order.
That's right. I just picked up the game. I got to admit it, and it's an enjoyable game. It's great for learners, for beginners. But here is not a beginner, Ivan Houchins, and a little high. But he's got a baby split.
He'll move to the left. He's got two ways to make this. He can slide the 3 into the 10, or he can fit it up with the ball. The prescribed way is to just let the ball back right up into the 10. If you notice, he's all the way to the left.
And he pulled it.
Let the shot get away.
These scratch bowlers, the winner of this match, unbelievably could roll a 160 and win it. I don't know, Eddie. What do you think the problem is?
Well, right now I think for Ivan it's nerves, and for the other young fella it's just coming off of a big game and having a mental letdown.
Oh, did you see that 10 pin? That 6 kicked it and it fell and decided, wait a minute, and popped back up.
I liked Ivan's comment. He said, "Tough break."
Well, let's see if our 18-year-old Marine can pick up his first spare of the day. We're in frame 7 of his second game, and he still hasn't converted a spare. And there it is. Right, we have an 8-pin difference.
You know, we're talking about breaking the ice and joining a summer league. You know, they could have broke some ice with the weather out there, but you can make warm friends in the cool summer joining a league. And they have some great openings available for women, men, mixed couples, and juniors ages 6 to 18.
And no problem there, Roger Crawford.
And the senior citizens, also for team captain. If you're a team captain, form your own team and receive a free pair of designer jeans. And I like this phone number here. You stop by or call 727-BOWL. Pick up a pair of designer jeans. Organize your own team.
Let's see Ivan. A 6 count. Roger Crawford moved into the lead for the first time. He's +3 in the 7th frame. And I like the advertisement here at the SuperBowl I'm looking at right now. Have you hugged a bowler today? That's a good reason to take up the sport, wouldn't you say, Eddie?
Any sport. This is a difficult spare. He's going to have to convert them all and not leave the 5.
We saw it chop last game, but not this time. A 3-pin difference heading into the 9th frame. This is the type of match we expected.
I'm listening to one of the young fellows back there say, "Come on, Mr. Houchins," and I am sure he is one of his junior players.
The YABA. That's the league he coaches for.
Yeah, that's an organization that governs all junior bowlers. And you know, Roger's got this strike up against Ivan's spare, and he's pulling it again.
Oh boy! That's a big break right there.
He must have the whole junior league here.
Now that puts some pressure on this young 18-year-old Roger Crawford. He knows the 1-3 pocket, or the 17th board, as Eddie taught me. Let's see if he can find it here in the 9th frame.
Keep it loose and watch the pins fly. Oh man.
Eddie, this game will be down to the final ball.
But the balance of power swings toward Ivan, because now he'll have the strike up and the all-important foundation frame, and with a conversion, Roger will have the spare.
So if Roger needs to get this, and he did. So right now, Roger's +3, but Ivan with an X, and Roger with a spare in the 9th frame. So if Ivan can string a couple together, he could lock it up. But let's see what Roger does.
Well, one thing about it, no matter what Roger does, he can't lock him out.
He let that one go. And oh, that ball came a long way. Mark that one down. That ball traveled a long way.
And that one, that was a picture of hitting the fingers all the way through the bottom of the ball. And I just love that shot.
I thought he was trying to pick up the 10-pin there. And all of a sudden, that ball was in the 1-3 pocket.
He sure hit the bottom of it.
And there's a 9 count. So Roger will finish with a 165 if he picks this up.
Means Ivan's got to throw the first one.
And he did. 165. Ivan Houchins.
And we're down. This is it. Ivan averages 197 as the graphic shows, and you could see him. Got his eyes glued right on that spot.
He needs a strike. It's all on this ball.
Good shot of his face.
Ivan Houchins, there's the ball. Brooklyn, and no, an 8 count.
And the junior bowler defeated his coach.
Sure did. He needed that strike, and he went Brooklyn for it and did not get the count. So a very, very exciting match. And he chopped it. 165 to 150. Roger Crawford is our men's champion in week 4. And Eddie Jackson and Nick Benge will be back with the interviews, presentations, and who knows what next. We'll be back right after this. Week 4 of the Super Bowl TV Merit Tournament is now history, but taking a look at how they qualify, Eddie, how do they qualify?
You know, Nick, I'm glad you asked, because we've had a lot of interest on how they qualify, and it's quite simple. All they have to do is be a member of a Super Bowl league, either a lady or a male, and all they have to do is, the females, all they have to average shoot is 175 league game in league play, and the men have to bowl a 200 game in league play. And they come in here on a Saturday morning at 11:45, or 11:30 I should say, and 12:45, and that's on a Saturday, and on a Sunday 3:45 and 5 o'clock. And it's a handicap thing, as you well know, and it's based on 280% handicap. So that's how they qualify, and hope for you viewing audiences at Bowl at Super Bowl, get out here on a Saturday and a Sunday and qualify, and we'll see you on the tube.
Okay, now it's time to turn things over to Doug Martin for the presentations.
Thank you very much, Nick and Eddie. First of all, before we make the presentations here, I want to make one to you, Ed. We've got a trophy here that you won for participating in our Celebrity Pro-Am tournament we had back in December with our PBA Regional Invitational. You bowled along with Johnny Benge and Chris Collinsworth and some other celebrities here, and you took first place. So I want to present this trophy to you and congratulate you on fine bowling. The old Silver Fox can still do it. Congratulations. Okay, then we'll start with the women. Lois Houchins making her first appearance on the show. She ran into some split problems there, but I'm sure we'll see her back in the near future. Lois, have a check here for you for third place. Congratulations. Okay, second is Kay Hale, also making her first appearance on the show. And she also had a few problems there, but I'm sure we'll see you back again. You did a fine job today. Congratulations. And Sandy Creed, she's our champion today. She made her first appearance and made it in a big way here. So Sandy, here's a check for first place. Good shooting. Congratulations. Okay, then on my left down here with the men, Perry Burgess. This is just your first year of bowling, and he's doing a heck of a job. And you did real fine today, Perry. I'm sure we'll see you back again also. Congratulations. Third place money. And Ivan Houchins, the coach here, he got beat by one of his students, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But I'm sure we'll see you back again also. There's a check for second place. Congratulations. And here's the Marine. The Marines are supposed to be tough, and he sure was today, especially that second game. Just about had a 300 gamer if that 10 pin had gone out. Roger, congratulations on winning today. And I don't know if we'll get to see you back before you go to Okinawa, but here's a little something you can take with you. Congratulations. Okay, I'll turn it back over to Eddie.
Well, Eddie, I'll tell you, can we let these bowlers get away with the famous Eddie Jackson interview?
Well, I don't know how famous they are, but from the comments, I want to talk to one young lady who commented on one of the things that I've said, the last of a dying breed. But I'm going to start over here and talk to Lois. You know, Lois, we had an opportunity to have a first here. We almost had a husband and wife team. What happened out there?
I don't know. I just ran into some splits up there, so.
Well, it seemed to me I was noticing one thing in your game, and I would really like to see you bend that little left knee a little bit.
I try to, but I can't get everything all together sometimes.
Well, I'm sure that when you practice a little more, you average what, 174?
174 right now.
And 5 children?
5 children.
Not too shabby. Kay, if you'd step on over here a minute, please, and just move on around. Kay, I've watched you bowl, and you got a real solid game, and you throw the ball just a little bit outside, what, 3/4 roller?
Yeah, more or less. I've just had this fingertip ball guide for a year, and it's really improved my average.
Well, you get quite a bit of roll on the ball, and I was noticing with interest, you're quite an astute player. Look, I'm going to ask you a question. Did you make any adjustments out there?
No, not really. I tried to bend a little bit more at the line, but I more or less kept the same spot and rolled it the same way.
Unconsciously, you know, you did drift or either move to the right. I was watching you, and looked like you picked up a little more roll on the ball and set the ball just a tad shorter. I was commenting that being a smart player that you were, that's about what you would do, and then you start cracking the pocket pretty good.
Yeah, I probably subconsciously do it. A lot of times I don't really know. Sometimes it comes natural. You just do, you know.
And then the truth, it's what they call instinct, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got to talk to this young lady. Come on over here. What did you put on that sheet of paper that you handed me?
I said I am also one of the last of a dying breed. I throw a full roller.
And the full rollers prevailed today, right? And I'm going to put you in the Hall of Fame with all the other full rollers, with Jack Calhoun and the young man, I can't remember his name, was on this show this week, and now you. And I noticed that you keep the ball pretty firm at the line, and you're nice and low at the line. Is that something that, are you a product of the junior bowlers in any way?
No, I'm not. My husband got me to get down at the line. I used to keep my knees stiff, and he said if you don't bend the knee, you can't bowl right.
And you got a smart husband. You won't tell him that, will you?
Of course I will.
Of course you will. Say that again so he can hear
I
it.
said of course I will.
Well, you know, the trick of the game, I've been trying to teach Nick, and we're going to do some more today. The trick of the game is to go slow and to go low at that foul line.
I agree, and like I said, my husband got me to do that, and he also, along with Doug, got me to quit rolling a backup ball 4 months ago. And I converted 4 months ago from rolling a backup to a right hand the way I'm supposed to.
Well, fantastic, and brought a full roller a winner, right?
Right.
Got to talk over to this young man here. You've only been bowling what, 1 year?
Yeah, 1 year.
1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And you just bowled 1 year, and you're made the show, and that just shows that it doesn't take a heck of a lot of practice or experience to get out here and be a winner.
No, just take your time.
What's your ambitions when you're trying to get into this game of bowling?
Just to try to get up top.
How much games do you practice?
About maybe 3 a week.
3 games a week you practice? Have you a product of the junior bowling program?
No.
Have you ever tried to get into the junior bowling program when you were a young kid, or just didn't have time for it?
Just didn't never try.
Never try. You know, my advice to all the young parents is that this is a game, you know, you just saw a trophy handed to me. I shoot 652. Could you believe that for an old man like me? Not too bad for somebody 57. But you're a young star, and you're going to throw the ball and roll the ball real well for years to come because you're a smooth player. Have anybody been in back of you teaching you how to bowl?
Yes, sir.
And who was that?
Dallas Creech.
Dallas Creech. Well, my congratulations to Dallas because he's done one fine job teaching you. And why don't you come on over here, big guy? Big Ivan here. Ivan, first of all, I got to really congratulate you. You've done one well of a job in coaching around here. And let me tell you, you've done a great job.
Thank you, Eddie.
And I want to compliment you and your team winning the YBA league title.
They were first place this year, and I'm real proud of them. All the kids did a fine job.
Let me have this Marine over here. I got to have this Marine. Marine, you're going back to Okinawa.
Right, I leave May 8th.
And very good. And we'll go back over here to Nick. And Nick, it's all yours.
Well, I'd like to thank all the bowlers personally, and I'd like to invite anyone in our home audience to come out and see our taping next Saturday morning around 9:30. It depends on whatever time we roll out of bed.